Bayou Times Sports is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health Systems Community Sports Institute in conjunction with Barker Honda.
Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Times Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, joined by Bobby Arsenault as we welcome in the head football coach over at Ellender Memorial, John Haslett. John, thanks for joining us.
Hey, thanks for having me here.
Absolutely.
John, let's talk about the numbers at Ellender in football. How many players we got out there?
On the roster we got right now, about 50 kids out there. We had 30 consistently over the summer coming, and when school started, we had about another 20 show up for the first time. Small senior class again this year, just like last year, but we have a big class of sophomores and juniors, and that's going to be the heart of our team. Luckily for us is those sophomores and juniors that are playing again this year played last year, so they have a year of experience under their belt, so that should help us out a lot.
Anything in particular that you learned from last year kind of going forward this year?
Trying to figure out practice with all this heat early in the year. Last year, we don't have a gym. We have no place to go inside. We did as much classroom work as we could, and eventually even coaches kind of got burned out with the classroom work. So now we're flipping it. We're coming in later. The kids are ready to go. They're hungry. They want to get outside. They want to practice. They want to get this thing underway. They saw what happened last year. They don't want that to happen, and they're ready to go.
Ellender, one of the schools naturally that was destroyed for the storm. Where do y'all practice at?
We're still able to practice at the school. We have a field at the school. We have all of our athletic facility is at a building at the Votech. So we're housed over there with our locker room, with the weight room and everything. So it's like a 5-10 minute walk from the building to the practice field. And then after practice, it's 10 minute walk back. So, they're kind of dragging a little bit because they're worn out from everything with the practice and all. But we're still able to use the field back there behind the school. It's just getting the stuff to and from the school for practice is the hard part.
Let's talk a little bit about your schedule, Coach. Anything you got that you're kind of looking at, either this or the district schedule?
It's going to be a tough district schedule. They added Edie White to the district, and we already had Lutcher, Vanderbilt, Assumption. So that's just adding another heavy hitter to the district. It's going to be a competitive district. Only 3 non-district games this year, but I think we got some good schools: Broadmoor out of Baton Rouge, Terrebonne, and Houma Christian. We played Thibodaux in the Jamboree, and we got Riverside, who's the defending state champion in 1A, coming for the scrimmage. So we got a pretty good group of teams to play in before district starts.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, and you're right, you're in a good district in football, but those teams you just mentioned, that's going to give you a nice little tune-up.
Yeah, it's going to give us see what we got. It's going to help us see what we got and where we got to improve on things.
Speaking of, is there one particular thing you can point to or something you're looking at that you really feel is going to make you successful this year?
The kids are buying into everything we're saying. I think they bought into it all. They saw what happened with the 0-10 season last year. They do not want to have a repeat of that, and they're trying and striving hard to make sure that doesn't happen again this year.
I love when we move forward with those kinds of things because it's not just winning that first game, it's winning that first game and then hungry for that second game as well.
Exactly.
Right? They're not going to be satisfied with just breaking last year's record. They want to do better than that.
They get that first win and they're going to want more. They get that taste of it and it's ready to go.
Very good. Well, Coach, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for
appreciate
having me.
All right.
Have a good one.
For Bobby and myself, that'll do it for this edition of Bayou Times Sports. But don't go anywhere. A lot more local programming right here on HTV. Hello and welcome to this edition of Bayou Times Sports. I'm your host, Keith Weissite, joined by Bobby Arsenault, and we have with us Miss Sierra Manning with Ellender Memorial High School, the head volleyball coach. Welcome to the show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Coach, you said you were here, you knew the Patriot volleyball, but you were here for the summer. Tell us a little bit about how the summer workouts went.
So for the summer workouts, we kind of did a first round of tryouts and didn't give anybody as titles as far as varsity or junior or anything.
Right.
We wanted them to work for their positions and see what they're capable of. Being that I didn't know them to start, I wanted to get to know them and see what their strengths and weaknesses were. And then after summer league, we went ahead and had a second round of tryouts and were able to decide our JV and varsity teams.
Okay. Anything in particular stand out from you over the summer? Anything kind of just strike you about some of the girls?
So I must say we do have some freshmen coming in hot that have a lot of travel experience.
Yep.
And then also we have a few seniors. Malaysia Williams, she's looking to play for college, and then we have Aubrey as our setter. She's never misses a beat. And then of course we have have Taya Livas. She's a big hitter as well. And we can't forget Sunny Dufran. She's top of her class with her GPA, so great defense and a great student athlete.
Now, your schedule was probably made when you got there,
Oh, I had no schedule, actually.
Oh, no?
I came in having to pick up games where I could. There was no schedule, and, a lot of schedules are booked
Sure.
at that time. So I actually picked up a few here in today. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Kind of the value of Media Day, right?
Right.
So congratulations for that.
Well, let me ask you this then. I know, we talk about the pre-district schedules for volleyball. These tournaments are very important.
Yes.
Were you able to get into some of these tournaments?
I did get in a few tournaments, and I was able to schedule a three-way tournament, possibly with CCA and Assumption, as well as a Franklin tournament. It does happen that a lot of the tournaments are all on the same weekend. There's 3 tournaments in the same weekend, so we had to choose one. And that we were going to go ahead and go to the Franklin tournament. And then we have a few more scheduled for the season.
Very good. Anything in particular you can point to? Any one thing that you think is really going to make you guys successful this year?
I feel like everyone is starting on a new leaf, and they all are holding themselves to high standards, and we are not looking to be a layup. We really want to compete, and so I think we get seen as school with no gym and everything else, but regardless, we're going to have a gym to practice, and we're going to put in work and stand against those big teams.
Well, congratulations to you. Looking forward to what happens here for you on your first year. And we're going to take a short break. We'll be right back right here on Bayou Time Sports.
Thank you.